Hello, this is Killer Ant, and here is another review. Been a little bit, it's been a while, been a bit busy, but I'm actually reviewing Monster Hunter International. This is actually a book I read several years ago, and I definitely highly recommend it. It's from Larry Correia. I can't pronounce that last name. Correia? Uh, Basically, back when I was having computer issues with my last computer, I didn't have a computer for like 3 weeks, so I ended up actually ordering and reading a bunch of books. This is one of them. And all I can say is, this is an extremely fun book to read. Think about like those big budget B movies. This is basically it, except it takes like all the monsters and just throws them into the world. It basically stars a guy who's like basically like big guy, well muscular. He finds out that his boss is a werewolf, ends up fighting him, and then gets recruited into Hunter International to basically hunt monsters. And from there, he actually meets a lot of interesting characters, and more importantly, a lot of interesting guns. Since the author is a huge gun nut, he obviously knows his stuff. And basically, I enjoyed it. It's basically like watching like a 3 hour nonstop action movie. And best of all, it also doesn't take itself seriously either. There was a scene in the beginning where the guy wakes up in the hospital. A couple of secret government agents were taking a test to see if he was transforming into a werewolf or not. And despite the fact that if it turns out he's positive, he would get killed. And while they're waiting for the test, him and another government agent were watching a game show, seeing who can get the right answers, and he was winning, which is pretty funny. There's a lot of good humor, a lot of good characters, a lot of very descriptive action scenes in it, which I absolutely love. And including some interesting twists as well. The main heroine, which is like who ends up basically like the love of his life afterwards, is also instead of just being like the weak female, she ends up being just as strong as he is, or actually even stronger due to her experience. And basically, I can't say enough good stuff about this. The weak parts of this book, there are a couple of weak parts. One kind of made the guy a little like, it ends up being a little unbelievable since he basically survives so much. At one point, I'm like, how is this guy still alive? Uh, think of it like Die Hard. Like the guy just gets injured throughout the entire book and is somehow still standing. The second one is the author does put in a little bit of his political views in it, which is a little distracting. Luckily, in this one, it doesn't come up as much. It does come up in a future one. I gotta go find it. I think I had one book get ruined, but I'll see if I can find the rest and I'll review them. I also read one of the other ones, but it was a ebook instead of a physical hard copy since I got the ebook for cheaper. That one I will review with the last one. So overall, what would I give this book? Uh, I'll definitely give this an easy 9.5. Yeah, the little complaints I had didn't really take away, and plus the fact is that, in my opinion, this isn't even the best book in the series. Yeah, there's a couple more books that are actually a lot better than this. And this is also a lengthy read too. This is over 700 pages. I can't tell if you can see it or not. Yeah, and that's not even the end either. It's still an epilogue. So yeah, lengthy book, a lot of fun. I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, if you end up seeing this anywhere or get an ebook version, definitely support the author. Like I said, like while some of the political views I wasn't a huge fan of, but at the same time, I really don't care. Well, but definitely is a little bit more distracting in a future book. But definitely support this guy. He came out with some really awesome books. And that guy actually got to get caught up in the series, since I think he released a couple more books since Siege, which is, I think, like the 4th or 5th book in the series. I lost count. There's a lot of them. So until next time, this is Killer Ant.